Plato's Closet in West Ashley and North Charleston are springing up cash. Just sell us your gently used warm weather styles like tees, shorts, sandals, and more. We're paying cash on the spot for gently used spring styles for guys and girls. Support sustainable fashion. This spring, do your thing and recycle the spring-inspired clothes, shoes, and accessories that are just hanging in your closet for cash on the spot. Let your spring clothes bloom into cash at Plato's Closet. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
This is the Washington Times front page for Monday, April 15th, 2024. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm George Gerbo. Iran's attack on Israel over the weekend is igniting fears of a wider conflict, prompting the U.S. to begin preparing for Israel's next steps while asking the Jewish state to refrain from escalation. Ryan Lovelace reports President Biden spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after the U.S. learned Iran's attack had been almost wholly negated or destroyed. U.S. national security officials counted more than 300 munitions in Iran's attack, including more than 100 ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and drones. U.S. officials said Israel shot down the majority of the missiles, and the U.S. helped disable other weapons. Congress is preparing a response to the attack, with House Majority Leader Steve Scalise saying lawmakers are changing the legislative calendar for this week to prioritize support for Israel. Activists are upset with Democrats after party leaders rallied to approve a bill expanding Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act without any significant new safeguards for Americans' privacy. Alex Miller and Stephen Dinan report Democrats provided most of the votes as the House renewed the government's chief surveillance authority for 2 years. And in a separate vote, Democrats shot down an attempt to add a requirement for the FBI to obtain warrants before it could comb through the communications of Americans. FISA has always scrambled usual partisan lines. The most conservative and liberal lawmakers have found common ground in suspicion of the intelligence community and worrying about core constitutional rights. FISA opponents plan to force a revote on Monday. They hope public pressure or the return of lawmakers that were absent from Friday's vote can change the outcome. The Supreme Court will hear a case this week arguing that the obstruction law under which January 6 defendants were charged was never meant to apply to the attack by Trump supporters on the U.S. Capitol. At issue, Alex Sawyer and Stephen Dinan report, is a law enacted in 2002 in the wake of the Enron scandal. That gave the government new tools to prosecute those who obstruct an official proceeding. The Biden administration says the Electoral College vote count at the Capitol in 2021 was an official proceeding. Attorneys for one of the defendants argue the statute was instead intended to snare people who tried to destroy evidence of corporate fraud cases, such as document shredding. U.S. Solicitor General Elizabeth Prelogar has argued in briefs to the court that while Congress may have written the law after the demise of Enron, the language is broad enough to encompass the riot of the Capitol that day. A new Florida law will allow residents to sue their local governments for inaction against homeless encampments in public spaces. Matt Delaney reports the law addresses unauthorized public camping and public sleeping and allows residents to sue their city or county governments for allowing makeshift shelters to remain in parks, alongside roads, and on sidewalks. The law calls on local officials to set up secure drug and alcohol-free encampments if no alternative shelter is available. Some Floridians, however, believe people are more likely to call the police than a lawyer over the encampments. And finally, Susan Ferricchio looks at former President Trump's impromptu campaign stops at fast food restaurants that are becoming viral moments for the presidential candidate. The detours to fast food restaurants have become a signature part of his campaign in recent weeks. The Biden campaign dismisses the notion that Trump is winning in the realm of retail politicking or that the videos of his visits equate to broad enthusiasm. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.
Plato's Closet in West Ashley and North Charleston are springing up cash. Just sell us your gently used warm weather styles like tees, shorts, sandals, and more. We're paying cash on the spot for gently used spring styles for guys and girls. Support sustainable fashion. This spring, do your thing and recycle the spring-inspired clothes, shoes, and accessories that are just hanging in your closet for cash on the spot. Let your spring clothes bloom into cash at Plato's Closet. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.